boy, imagine me do that I did, boy, in Paris for boy. You don't take these type of risks, boy, cause this boy miss, boy, your numbers.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL in Glendale, Arizona. So this was the scene of ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. Here's Chandler Catanzaro ready to get this one started. These folks are ready, and we are underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock. You control the
opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Here we go on 4th down with Rosen. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
180. Hey, get right down.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Newton. Got his target, Samuel. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Hey, hey.
They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Throwing again is Newton. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And Gresham has it left side. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run. And toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 40. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. It got them frustrated right now.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And some space here. 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, 45 yards. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On second down, McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Screen to McCaffrey, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Trey Boston, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Gone!
Now Rosen on first down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Hurry up, here we go.
Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Underneath for Johnson. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. And he's got Fitzgerald. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
On 1st down, it's Rosen. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Here's Rosen to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And Dawson's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch.
Reassert themselves here.
Rock now. Hey, get right there. Get right there. Get right there. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton eluding the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I tell you, on that first glance, I thought he got it easily. But the mark was not a real favorable one. As it turns out, they do give him the first down, but that was very close to going the other way.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
It goes as a loss of 6, and now 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. This is why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call it?
Receiver still gets a point there. Yeah.
No.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
Third and long. It's Newton. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. They will go for it. Now Newton. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Rosen off the play action. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So 1:56 to play in this 1st half. More from the desert after this. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Johnson. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? It's like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. This is McCaffrey on the give, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Do something. Check. Fresno. Watch twist. Gun.
And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So they won't get a touch. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Boy, still a half plus to play, but it is a 2-score game. They're going to go onside kick early. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. For the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it all the way down on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Newton on first down. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it's a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down. Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
To throw on second down is Newton. Forced out to his left. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
From the gun on third down, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
This is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Rosen. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Now Rosen. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Detroit! Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now it's Rosen looking, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And he's into the clear. Past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. as his guys are in for 6. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields it in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
Well, he fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it, and you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone, and that's exactly why he did.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. A spin. Oh, he shifts past him. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. He's still barreling through. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Dawson tacks on the point after, and the lead now up to 14. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Oh, able to avoid him. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Carolina getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now Newton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Escaping the pressure right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Newton now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Set 180. Hey, get right down.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. Then the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4 minutes.
And it's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. From the end zone, Newton. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's only able to get it to right around the 3. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. A shotgun snap for Newton. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And Olsen over the middle. And they work this out past the 25. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On 1st down, Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On 2nd and 10, Newton. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing him.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. He's sacked back around the 28. Vernon Butler busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Rosen to throw. This one complete to Gresham. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And, Dawson missed it. It's wide to the left. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
That's it. 20.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise, because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And any way you can get the ball in his hands, he wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, I do think his running production will increase.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Buda Baker with a pick. And he's going to go down. His time has now run out on this game. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do